I can tell you one thing. The topic which I'm taking in today, you are doing it definitely in your life right now. So the one I'll be talking about, watch it till end, and also tell me which one of these you have been doing quite frequently. Number one, decision fatigue, validations from others, people pleasing, thinking negative about the future. And I can tell you the list goes on and on. Comparing yourself with others. Right? If you're even the slightest bit you're doing it, let's say 10 to 20%, 25%, watch my video till end. So before I start, I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm an ICF certified coach and also a former scientist. So today's topic is very fascinating for me. These are the major things people are doing and they forget to reflect on them. And they come to me and they talk about, why is this happening to me all the time? So I have to give them a valid answer, which I'm going to give it to you all today as well. So all these things are where I come in as a bridge from a neuroscience and also from an emotional intelligence coach. So I try to tell you both what you're doing wrong and what you can overcome so that you can move ahead and not thinking of something what we call as overthinking. Yes, that's what I'll be talking about today. And it's one of the biggest issues I think most of us are facing today. So once you understand what this thing is, which I'll be talking in the form of acronym, which is T.H.I.N.K, you will realize where you're going wrong and what you can right away rectify, and you'll get benefit of this video. So let's start with the T. T is the triggers. Please, I don't know how many times I've talked about your triggers. There could be triggers from the past which you're holding on to because your brain has not been able to overcome it by itself. So you have to do something little more about those triggers, right? So something, a fear of judgment, fear of failure. Now, when I talk about these ones, believe me when I say that, there could be underneath so many problems which you have to overcome those ones as well. It's just not about the trigger. It's all about the other problems as well. So somebody said in one of my previous videos, oh, I'm doing my fear of judgment for others and how I think about them, right? I said, is that the only thing you're dealing with right now? So think about when I tell you something, a trigger does not mean just one trigger. Trigger could be 1, up to 100, up to 20. It is on an individual how many triggers they're holding on to, right? So your brain does not respond to each of these. So your brain becomes, let's say, numb to it, right? You're having triggers and then you automatically just react to those triggers without even realizing it. So there comes a point in time in your life, you are getting triggered from the people and you don't even realize it, right? So please try to work on your triggers as much as you can. Write down 10 triggers today which you feel that you're facing in the current situations. Okay, and think about that. Then let's talk about H in think. That comes from habit. Now, so let me explain to you two behaviors. So is it a learned behavior? What does that mean? Neuroscience call is a conditioned neural pathway. So sometimes we just learn things from others, we take in it, and we just keep doing it without even knowing it. For example, you might have realized when you were younger how your, let's say, dad used to open up a laptop, how your dad used to work on his office, or your mother used to have a style of making a coffee. Anything of those habits, you have picked them up subconsciously. And they have become your habit now. You know how your, let's say, parents used to walk. So any of those little ones, I'm not even talking about the more impactful habits. I'm talking about the very little ones which you picked up and they get repeated in your mind subconsciously, and then you keep doing them even without knowing it. Right? So strangely, These habits, sometimes they help you to get out of a situation, but they can also produce some effects where you have to even get more into them to get out of them. All right, it's a more impactful one. So, right? So it's a liberating truth, which I'm trying to tell you, that your brain built is a super highway, let's say. The cars are coming in and going in from both sides, but it is up to your safety which ones when you're driving on the highway, for your own safety, what you do, you wear a safety belt. So you have to know what is going on, which habits you have picked up subconsciously and which ones you need to work upon, which is going to help you in the progression. Then in thing comes I. I is identity. This is the biggest one, if I have to tell you that. Please understand this. Now, identity or what? Identity, let me give you this. I am overthinker. So many of my friends and family members have said that to me. And of course, clients. They just subconsciously keep repeating it. I am an overthinker. I cannot get over this. I don't know, something is wrong with me. I don't know how to fix this. My life is going nowhere. I'm not achieving anything. Things of that nature, right? So I want you to hear this sentence again. I am an overthinker. So what you have done to yourself, over the years, you have given yourself an identity which your body and your mind are identifying or aligning with. Now, even if you want to get out of it, your body will say, oh, come on, you said you're an overthinker, right? So there was one psychologist called James Clear, and I think it was Ethan Knox, right? So both studied this. The research was that identity-based beliefs, how you develop them, and they become 100%, they said, they become permanent in your life. So be very careful what you are identifying with, okay? It could be a smallest of things, it could be a biggest. Like, let's say you are in a group of people, what you call yourself is the key. Remember that next time when you are there. Now, in Think series, next one is N, narrative. Now, stories. Now, this is the brain where it has collected all the data in the day, and at 3 a.m. it's working overtime, right? Now you're thinking 3 a.m. in the morning, oh, she said that happened, what will I do? Sometimes most of my clients say they're generating future predictions at that time. They say it's very active. My brain is very active that time. Things of that nature. That happens to, us once in a while. So the neuroscience calls it the structured responsive when your mind is in the default mode network. So we call it like when you are in the default and you will be saying it, whatever is coming to your mind, but that happens only at 3 a.m. in the morning, because that's the time when your body and your mind has decided earlier, no matter what. Okay, so these are the processing facts, how your brain works during the night time. So the network which is in your brain, which is a default network, the neural pathways, they get activated at that time. So for example, I'm going to fail. Now, if you have an exam next day or you have a presentation next day, so your brain is going to tell you multiple times, no matter what, that voice in your brain would come that you're going to fail, even if you're prepared. This has happened to you? Like, even if you're 100% prepared, you think you're going to be able to do it, but your brain keeps telling you that. So it's a default mechanism happening in your brain, right? There are no facts attached to it at all, but it's just on the repetitive mode right now, correct? So it has nothing to do with the real fact attached to that point, right? So next one is kindness. Now, kindness is like, it's overrated. People say you have to be kind to others. Yes, I completely understand with me, but stay with me, right? Self-compassion, we say it's too soft, right? With people who talk about self-compassion, they are looked upon as, oh, these people are too soft, right? But stay with me here. What I'm trying to tell you is, Dr. Christine Neff from the University of Texas, she talked about self-compassion, and the findings are very ambiguous, which are not clear, was not clear to her. She said self-criticism is one part of it where sympathetic nervous systems get activated, but it's the same system that created overthinking at the first place. When you tell yourself, stop thinking, I'm overthinking, and all the identities you give yourself, that also threatens your nervous system a lot. So we have to do it by something called as, it's an overload on your nervous system, correct? So she said that to cut it down, the only thing you could do is a self-compassion. Now, I will put it in my description that self-compassion does not mean taking bubble baths. I'm telling you that again and again. It's not repeating affirmations. It's much more genuinely you need to work on yourself, how you think. All right, about you and about the people around you. Please understand that, right? And it's genuinely hard work. Okay, so next time when you get your aroma candles, your bubble baths, your affirmations, your meditations in place, that is not self-compassion. There is much more to understanding of self-compassion. I hope you got it. That's more of, is dependent on your growth mode, correct? So let it bring it home. Like, let me talk about T for in think is trigger. Remember, there could be one trigger, there could be multiple. You have to write down and you have to attempt to rectify all of them. Then comes the H, it's the habit you probably have learned unconsciously, still doing it. I is the identity you keep having for yourself. And the N, the narrative, what is fact and what is a story or something. You have to work upon that. And last one is K, kindness or self-compassion is a practice which you have to keep doing it. It's a cycle which you build upon. All right. It has nothing to do with the so many modalities we talk about. So these 5 letters are so important to understand when you're working with your overthinking. Which letter hit you the hardest today? Write down in the comments which one of them you're going to work upon today, because it's very important. We are here to stop the overthinking problem you're having, and these are some of the things or the little tips you could do today, and you will see the changes next 30 days. I can assure you that. Tell me in the comments. So thank you for watching me, and I'll see you next week. And do subscribe to my channel, like and comment to this video.